just the life of the Bachelorette, what can I say?
I enjoy every second I get with you.
Tayshia has officially begun her Bachelorette journey, and it looks like drama is already on its way. Hey guys, welcome back to another Shared News from Home. We have to talk about the latest Bachelorette teaser, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Gabby, Gonta and Avery Grooms.
Hi.
Hello. So you guys, there is a lot to break down as always in this teaser. I say we just dive right in. This first clip is evidence of Tayshia basically just living her best life. Let's check it out.
Oh my gosh, look at you guys.
The journey continues next week on The Bachelorette.
Okay, actually, I don't know. I know I said best life, but that's kind of a hot mess. I mean, they are really leaning into the like stripping down, lots of nudity this time around. What are your thoughts? It looks like we're in for a wild ride of group dates.
It's totally been a wild ride of group dates. This looks like another strip dodgeball situation, which not a lot of people liked, but it looks like this one, they're having a lot of fun.
I feel like we have to expect group dates involving pieces of clothing to be off. It's just part of the show. But I'm really loving this oil moment. It looks like it's going to be a fun one.
Well, in addition to the oil, we have a pretty exciting cameo, it looks like, to look forward to. And it looks like one of the guys we don't know super well yet is going to make an impression.
Tayshia is looking for a grown-ass man.
I can get used to this.
I could be a main course for breakfast.
I definitely want her for myself.
That was good.
So, Gabby, I mean, this, again, just wild group date after wild group date. I know I love Ashley, and Jared, and this is another moment with Ivan, who's someone we just don't really know. I'm totally excited to see all of this sort of play out. It kind of just feels like it's a better vibe. I mean, just from that little clip alone, what are your kind of initial reactions to the tone of it all?
I agree. I think this looks like such a cute group date. It looks sort of like a husband material tests or something like that, which is so cute. I'm also a big fan of Ashley, and Jared. They're one of the couples to come out of Bachelor Nation being successful, so hopefully they're on next week's episode to give Tayshia some good advice.
It looks so fun. It's so creative, and it has like a homey vibe. But I feel like the whole energy of the group dates have just shifted. Like, it just looks so positive, and everyone seems so upbeat, and Tayshia as well. So I'm looking so forward to seeing this and all the other exciting group dates that they're going to come up with.
Absolutely. I mean, after Tayshia's first episode, I feel like Brendan made an impression on all of us, and it looks like that might continue. Let's check this next clip out.
I enjoy every second I get with you.
I'm trying to have the best love story ever.
So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but Brendan totally charmed me. Ben is another guy that I feel like we didn't really get a chance to know. I am fully expecting to be completely won over by these guys in the short amount of time we have left. Did anyone stand out to you? Are you rooting for Brendan, Gabby? Anyone that you're already excited about?
I'm totally rooting for Brendan. I was live tweeting during the show, like, I've never stand a couple more than Tayshia and Brandon. So I'm on board for them. I thought they totally hit it off on their first one-on-one date. So I'm excited for them to keep falling in love. They're so cute. And like you said, Ben is great too. There's a lot of great guys, but I'm certainly Team Brendan at this point.
Gabby, I totally agree. Out of nowhere, now Brendan is just my front runner. Like, I love them together. I feel like the moment she sat down with him during the cocktail party, you could just tell that there was just this connection. Like, he wasn't even saying much, but I just got this like force between the two, and I'm so with it.
So aside from Brendan, one of the new guys that we have already been talking about, not necessarily from that first episode, but from these teasers, is Noah. And in this next clip, it just is another clue that he's going to be a force for the rest of the season. Let's check it out.
Every moment was precious, so I'm going to fight for what I want.
So he's going to fight for what he wants. Really, I just want to know, Gabby, initial thoughts. I mean, they're setting it up that he could get messy at some point. Do you get that vibe? What was your kind of instant reaction with him?
I think it's tough with these new guys coming into the house because they really have to prove themselves. Tayshia doesn't know the group of guys beforehand. She's on the equal playing field. But the guys who were from Clare's part of the season, you know, they feel like they're the top dogs of the house. So these new guys coming in, including Noah, they really need to show up and stand out. And so I think that's why we're seeing these clips of him saying he's going to fight for what he wants, that the guys aren't really getting along with him at this point because he has to take the extra steps to get there.
I agree with you. When we first saw him walk out of the limo, I didn't think of him as the villain until I saw these promos. And we didn't really see much of him that first night either. So I'm just kind of waiting for the blow up because it's kind of obvious that he's going to be a little bit messy somewhere down the road.
Totally agree. Speaking of messy, it looks like these physical group dates may lead to some injuries, and we're getting another exciting cameo. We honestly got a lot of little exciting moments in this teaser.
This is battle.
Blood, sweat, tears, regret. The medics are heading over.
So, I mean, I love Wells, but how do we even talk about Wells? That is like physical fighting. I was a little taken aback by this. I felt like it was a little shocking. I mean, there was a pillow fight on Peter's season, but this is like shirts off in the ring cage. I don't really know much about fighting, but what was your reaction to this, Gabby?
I feel like the producers are really just feeling that these guys need to let off steam. So all the guy group dates seem to be these like aggressive sports games or wrestling matches. And maybe the guys do need to let off some steam, and maybe that's how they're just putting their whole heart, their whole body into it, and that's why injuries are happening. We saw an injury with the pool basketball date, and now there's clearly one here. So that's going to start a lot of drama. I'm interested to see exactly what went down during this date. And love Wells too, of course. I think he's a radio host, right? So this is like the perfect cameo for him to make on this little group date.
Looking forward to it, but I also agree with you that the producers know these guys need to blow off some steam. So they're just going to give them these aggressive dates involving fighting, and they can just leave their heart out on the ring. I feel like someone always gets hurt during these types of dates, and then we see the medic come, and it's usually like not as dramatic as it seems, but I'm always anticipating an injury.
Same. I absolutely couldn't have said it better. We already talked about him a little bit, but like we said, these teaser clips are painting an interesting picture of Noah in particular. Let's take another look at these clues to his character.
And Noah hopped the fence.
All hell is breaking loose.
He's trying to push himself onto group dates.
I think it's immature to do that. I'm not going to let this go.
So it looks like he may not be on this wrestling messy date, and he decides that he wants to get in there and fight somebody. I don't know. It seems like also, by the way the guys are talking, this could be kind of an ongoing issue, him inserting himself where he doesn't belong. And this is also another side of Ben that we haven't seen. I mean, is it safe to say at this point that Noah's going to be a source of some drama? What do you think, Gabby? I feel like it's a pretty done deal.
Definitely. I think from these clips, we can tell that Noah is going to be that guy who's just always around and annoying for these other guys who are taking their time and, you know, letting other guys have their time and just being respectful. I think that Noah's being respectful of the other guys and Tayshia's time is going to be what really sets these guys off. But we can't tell too much from here other than Noah's going to be a problem for sure.
Yeah, although we can't tell too much, just based off these clips, he seems like the attention seeker. He just kind of wants to be in the spotlight, jumping over the fence for whatever that is. It just seems like he's inserting himself in places he doesn't always necessarily need to be if it's not his place. So I definitely could see him causing issues regarding taking up too much time or just not being considerate with the other guys.
Of course. Well, we will just have to wait and see. Some other interesting potential conflicts we're seeing hinted here. It looks like Bennett might actually be getting involved and calling out some of the guys. Let's take a look.
Tasha's a smoke show?
What woman wants to be called a smoke show?
So, great one-liner from Bennett, as always. I think he's kind of our go-to guy for a nice little comedic break. But based on the other guys in the room's reactions, do we think that maybe Chasen at some point could start to be trouble? He seemed so innocent up to this point.
That's a real possibility. I think he blatantly says here that she is a smoke show, which these other guys are deeming an inappropriate or a slang type word. That she probably wouldn't appreciate. And we know Bennett to be our, classy and refined man. So it makes sense that that rubbed him the wrong way. But it looks like the other guys are, agreeing with him. So we're going to have to see how that Chasen train plays out.
I feel like we have not seen this side of him yet, but based off these clips, it looks like he's about to pop off soon. And I'm looking forward to that just because he's been kind of like more low key and calm. So I just love when we see new levels of the men that we haven't seen yet.
Well, with that being said, this next clip is just literally a continuation of this. Someone I feel like we don't know at all, Ed and Chasen, who we just mentioned we don't know that well. More drama could be brewing, you guys. These are people who have basically been silent up until this point. So let's watch this final clip.
You're a fraud. You're a phony.
That guy.
Needs to stop. I'm not taking any more, dude. I'm bringing my inner Wolverine out. It's gonna get bloody. He's not waking up tomorrow after this.
It's all coming up next week.
So, okay. First of all, I literally think Ed has said 3 words. I had in my head he was a shy and quiet guy. Meanwhile, he's saying he's bringing out the Wolverine. There's going to be blood. Chasen's not taking any more of it. Of course, we don't know who the instigator is. We don't know who's in the right or wrong. More than anything, I think I'm just kind of shocked. I think this really goes to show there is so much we don't know about all of these guys. And I mean, I just think we're going to be surprised. Did you see this coming at all, Gabby?
No, I didn't. I think it's basically inevitable when you get this many guys in the same room, especially when they're all dating the same girl. Like, I couldn't imagine even how that goes down. But it's true that it looks like there's a few developing between Ed and Chasen. And like you said, we're just getting to know these guys more because Tisha's actually giving them a chance and they're sticking around a little bit longer than Clare's part of the season. So we're going to get to know their sides, both good and bad.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, we've seen a lot more of these men in the promos than we have during the episodes. And makes me more interested because it's almost like we're re-meeting them for the first time, even though they've been on the show the whole time. So I'm here for some contrast and some bromances, either or. Looks like definitely some contrast next week, but it should be a good season.
I totally agree. You guys, we want to know your thoughts. What do you make of this teaser? Are you shocked by some of these developing feuds? Are you excited to get to know these guys better? Let us know all your thoughts and predictions down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell, because we will be keeping you updated on The Bachelorette all season long. If you haven't checked out our recap of this week's episode, it'll be linked in the description, as well as our breakdown of the Clare and Dale update. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. You can follow me on socials at Fiona Zaring. And Gabby, where can they find you?
You can follow me at Gabby Gonta.
You can follow me at Avery Grooms.
Amazing. Thanks, you guys. And thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye.